Hi Stampers, this is Tammy Richardson of Arlette's Art. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And today I would like to show you project number 1 of my BBM program. BBM stands for Best Bundle of the Month. And those of you that participated in September got this kit along with 3 others. So today I'm going to show you how to make this adorable Coffin treat box. We're going to be using the stamp set, Sweet Home, and the Thinlits, Home Sweet Home, from page 40 in our holiday catalog. I'm going to be using this stamp set, and we're going to be using these dies. Now you can buy this in a bundle with both of them and save 10%. And if you participate in my BBM, you also get 4 project kits a month along with access to the videos. So let's get started. In your kit, you received a half a sheet of 8.5 by 11 basic black cardstock. It was cut at 5.5 by 8.5. And in doing that, cutting it that way, you will find that your die will fit perfectly twice if you line up this edge with the short edge of your paper, run it through the big shot, flip it over, line up this edge again with this edge, and run it through the big shot. Now we have 2 pieces, and of course that would mean that you could get 2 treat boxes out of 1 full sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Now we're going to take these 2 pieces to the scoreboard and whoops, and we're going to make 2 score marks on both of our pieces. Let me move this over a little bit. Okay. We're going to line up this flat edge with the edge of our scoreboard, and we're going to score it at 7/8 of an inch. Then we're going to fold down the original score line that was made by our die, and we're going to concentrate on these 2 points, lining it up flat against the scoreboard, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Oops, I'm gonna move my board. Hang on. I'm gonna score it at 1/2 inch. And we're gonna do that with both of our pieces. Line it up with this edge and score at 7/8. And then we will fold it down and score it at, whoops, score it at 1/2 inch right there. All right, and that's all the scoring there is to do. Now we'll take and fold on all of our score lines on both pieces. And I have done most of the score lines, just not this one. Alrighty. And we'll do the same thing over here. Alrighty. Now I want you to notice, which I'm sure you have, I have an extra score line here. That was an accident. Pay no attention to it. Alright. One of these pieces, which are identical, we're going to decide is going to be the front of our coffin, which means it has the door. So we'll take this one, and we'll remove the pieces that we don't need because we've got a door. So we'll take that one off. And we don't need these. Okay, we're just going to come up like this. And across this score line. And across this score line. Okay. Now we have our door shape, and I'm going to leave this flap to tuck in. Next step is going to be to glue our two pieces together. No, it's not. First thing we want to do is even up our roof. And you can see our roof sort of has a slant outwards. And we want to straighten that up just a little bit. So we're just going to take a little notch, just a sliver, off of each one of these pieces. Same thing on this side. And whoops. There we go. And this side. All right. There we go. Okay, we'll get rid of our trash. Now we're ready to glue. And we're going to put the glue on the side that we have not cut anything off of. This is our back. My preference is Tombow because it gives me a little wiggle room and it's very strong bond. All right, we're going to tuck this in just like this, line it up with that score mark, and pinch it. All righty. If you need to move it a little bit, slide it, that's good. Okay, and now I like to take my bone folder and just go over it, just like that. And that'll give us a nice, flat, healed surface. Now we're going to glue the bottom, which looks like this, and we're going to pull, oops, sorry, we're going to push this one forward and this one forward, and we're going to put adhesive on both of these pieces right here. Alrighty, looks like I've got a little stuffer there. Okay, we'll bend this one up. Just, whoops, to square it right up to that score line and give it a good pinch. And pinch it inside. There we go. Then we'll fold this one up and do the same thing. Pinch it inside. And we can even take our bone folder if we want to and give it a mash so that we know it's sticking. Okay, there we go. Now we've got the bottom of our box. Now we're ready to do the top. And the back flap, we need to take a little notch. So we're going to cut on this score line, the 1/2 inch score line, and take just a little wedge from that and a little wedge from the other side. Just like this, just a little snip. There we go. All right, now we're ready to put the glue on. And we're going to do, I'm going to fold my lid the same way that my door is going. So I'll start, as I'm looking at it, gluing the left side and then the right. So this, we're going to put adhesive on this piece and this piece. Actually, this whole piece, I'm sorry. This entire piece. Okay, there we go. And we're going to bend our roof, matching the score lines and pinching, and then this one. Alrighty, just like that. Okay, now put your finger in and press. Excuse me, I have such a horrible cough. All right, there we go. And now we're gonna do this side. We'll do this flap. There we go. And then we're going to do the other flap. Ooh, I apologize. I had to stop the camera. I had a little coughing jag. All right, where was I? I'm going to put a little glue on this. We're going to put a little bit of glue on this lower edge here. Sorry about that. And this edge here. And that way we don't have any excess. We're going to do the same thing over here. Fold this along this line. Hold it for just a minute. Sorry, I keep leaving the camera's view. And then bend it down and hold it. All right. Now we've got the base of our coffin. And if we didn't get those trimmed off good enough, we just take our scissors when we did our little slivers and we come back and we trim it up. There we go. All right, now we've got our box. The next step is to make it a little more spooky. So we're going to take our Whisper White craft ink and our box, and we're going to dip our sponge and we're going to start sponging all of our folded edges. And we're going to do it on both sides of each edge. See how creepier, is that a word, that looks? And we'll just do that all over the box. Once you've completed that process, it's time to add your baker's twine. And the baker's twine that I'm using is also in the holiday catalog, and it comes in a 2-pack of orange and black or black and white. And what came in your kit is the black and white. All right, so the way I do this is I lay a line of glue just along the edge of the door. And I follow it around, and then I just give it a minute to stick. And I go around it some more with just a little bit, get a couple of edges, not too much. My glue's acting all wonky right now. Okay, and then I just lay it across that line, right up against the edge. Don't worry if I got too much glue this time, because we are doing 2 rows. So we'll just lay it down and lay it down and even it up. There we go. And then I'm not going to show you all of it, but you will go all the way around till you meet where you started, and then start on the inside, making a double row all the way around of your baker's twine. When you get to the end and you meet here, if you want a loop, that's all you have to do. Make a loop, glue it down, give it a little bit of chance to dry, and trim off the excess. Okay, once that's completed, we are ready for our decoration and our stamping. And the stamping is done with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And I take it and I stamp the verse first, dip it in my, stamp it where I want it, and then I take the banner and I ink it, and because these are photopolymer, I can see through it and line up perfectly over top of my words. And there you go. Then I take this, the banner die, and my bat, and I run it to the Big Shot. After that, we're going to glue our bat to the very top of our banner with a little bit of Tombow just on his bottom so that he sticks up. We'll add a dimensional and we will attach him to our box. Just like that. And that completes your box. If you choose to add the brad mechanism right here, all it is, you take where your loop ends, you make a small pencil mark opposite it, you open it up, you use a handheld punch, stick it in there, punch your hole, put your brad in, and when you put your brad in, you want to make sure that you have at least one piece of paper or piece of cardstock to slide in underneath it so that you don't get it too tight. And that will allow you to wrap your loop. All right, well, I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope that you had a good time, and I hope you liked the little treat box. And I'd like to give credit to where I got my inspiration